What stupid mistake put you in a better situation than you were to begin with? I got a brand new $1,000 king-sized mattress. Completely free. I just moved into my first official place, which I split with my brother. Up to that point, I'd slept on a single bed my entire life, but having reached what felt like the pinnacle of success, I thought I needed a mattress worthy of my newly independent status. I went to a couple of stores where the salesman followed me around and generally crept me right the heck out. The mattresses were also much more expensive than I'd planned on, anyway, that I probably would have given up regardless. Well, one day shortly after, I was driving to work when I passed a store that I'd never noticed, a store that now looked like this. A closeout sale, I said excitedly to my empty car. Surely there will be something there that I can afford. I took a detour over there on my lunch break, unable to wait till after work. It was a tiny shop. Rolled up mattresses were piled in a disorderly heap against the wall inside the door. Beyond them, facing the door, was an equally untidy desk, with papers strewn haphazardly about. The middle-aged man behind the desk glanced up over his glasses as I entered. "How can I help you?" he asked. "I'm looking for a memory foam mattress. I'm hoping to find one on the softer side, but I've also heard they can have problems with retaining heat and I want to avoid that." The man nodded and stood, beckoning me over to the first of the 8 mattresses on display. This is a really high-quality one made by an incredible brand. It does tend to run a bit firm though. I tried it. Yep, this was a Papa Bear bed. I wanted Mama Bear's. Too soft? No such thing for me. Goldilocks was crazy. The salesman motioned me to the second bed in the line. This one is softer, and it's a really great off-brand bed, with built-in cooling solutions. It's also cheaper by about $200. I sat on the edge, swung my feet up onto the protective cover across the bed, and sank down into utter bliss. This was it. I was astonished by how both squishy and supportive this mattress managed to be. It was like an endless hug from my mom, and I was absolutely sold. Once I managed to pry myself away, we headed over to the clutter-piled desk. The man told me my options: cash up front, about $1,000, or a finance plan of 3 payments, 1 per month. While I could have paid for it right there, I thought it would be easier on my budget if I didn't totally drain my account unnecessarily. He rummaged around for a while before unearthing the proper paperwork and filled me in on the story of his doom store while I filled it out. I have not tried to get her to be with me in any way other than to just talk to me. And even then I have had very generic conversations so as to not upset her. I then get a text from her asking if I would meet with her at an address I wasn't familiar with. Once I looked it up, I determined this was a therapist's office. I am told to be there at 4, which meant I had to leave work early to get there. I check in at the front desk and I'm told that the therapist wants to speak to me alone for a few minutes. She comes in and I now know where the parents were getting this from, because after formally greeting me, she then started to provide me with a list of do's and don'ts. She then told me that my girlfriend wanted to speak to me and had something to tell me. I go in and she is sitting on one chair and I'm instructed to sit in the other. She has a box of tissues and has been crying. The therapist tells me that I'm here because my girlfriend has something to tell me, and that she wanted the safety of the therapist's office to feel safe. She then proceeds to tell me that the reason she did not meet me for lunch that day is because she was with another guy, somebody from her new job. They had been intimate with each other. She might as well have taken a weapon out and shot me. It couldn't have hurt anymore. I just dropped my head and began to cry. The therapist then pipes in with some logic about her taking back her control since she was attacked and how this wasn't cheating in the same sense of cheating. My girlfriend then proceeds to tell me that she does not want to lose me, and that she's just very messed up in the head, and that it was a one-time thing and blah, blah, blah. I feel very trapped at that moment. I felt like I was ganged up on, and the more I said, the more upset I got. I finally just said to her, "You haven't so much as held my hand in the past half year. Yet you can go screw some guy you met at work while I sit like an idiot waiting for my junior high-like date." This, of course, caused her to go into hysterics and the therapist asked me to leave. I apologized and told her to text me if she wants to keep working this out. I get that text later that day. Now she is all chatty and telling me that this was the worst mistake of her life, and to please talk to her. I tell her that I don't know if I can go on with this, but agree to meet her. I flat out tell her right up front when I see her, that for me to even consider going forward with this, that she has to cut this other guy off, period. She tells me that it's impossible because they work together. I tell her that I'm sorry, but I won't even consider it if she's going to see this guy every day. She decides to find another job, and after talking with my sister, who I have told everything to, she said that while it is not common, some women do attempt to have intimacy after being attacked. That way they feel like they have power again. Now, why I'm not the one who she did this with, I have no idea, but I know I feel like I'm being punished for something I didn't even do. She changes jobs and we go back to our lunches. I do this twice when I tell her that I'm getting a little tired of just meeting for lunch and doing nothing else. So she agrees to come over to watch TV with me. That has been it up until tonight. Tonight she came over and we watched 2 movies and ate pizza. During the second movie, I tried to give her a kiss. Nothing more, just a kiss. She backs away as though I was a cross, and she was a vampire and tells me she is not ready for that yet. Not my finest moment here, I admit, but I tell her that it's been a year and a month, and I have not tried one goddamn thing with her or forced her into anything. I continued that despite this, she willingly screwed some other guy months ago, but here I'm still waiting to hold hands. She of course starts crying, but this time I'm not as fast to apologize. I do apologize for the tone of my voice and tell her that I would never try to force her to do anything against her will, but honestly, I feel like I've been kept on the outside. I've been cheated on. I don't care what they call it. She willingly had unprotected intimacy with someone else, and I feel like I've done everything to try and be a supportive boyfriend. I tell her that honestly, I don't want her to text me until I decide what I'm going to do. I don't want to be unfair to her, but by the same token, a year is a long time. We are really no closer to being back to normal than we were 6 months ago, and I have no idea how long this will go on. Now here is the part where if you didn't think I was a jerk before, you will now. I am just tired of not having intimacy. Look, I certainly understood not trying anything right afterwards and even months afterwards, but it's been over a year and we're not even holding hands. Frankly, the fact that she has been with someone else since this incident is killing me inside. So I told her that I'm going to think things through and promise to talk with her next week sometime, but as it stands tonight, I think I'm done. I love her. I hate the idiot who ruined both of our lives. I know this isn't her fault, and I hate that. I feel like garbage no matter what I do. If I stay, I'm going to be resentful, and even if she comes over tomorrow and has intimacy with me, it will feel like either pity intimacy or desperation intimacy. But I know ending this will be punishing her for something that isn't her fault either.